Along the way, the Biden administration has been slow in providing military support. Make no mistake about this. We promised them 33 Abrams tanks in January. I heard again 2 weeks ago in Ukraine, they still don't have them. We've been telling them we'll train their F-16 pilots, but now they're saying maybe January we'll let somebody transfer some jets.
I'm sorry, Mr. Vice President, have you, I know you're running for president. You are distressed that the Ukrainians don't have enough American tanks. Every city in the United States has become much worse over the past 3 years.
Yeah.
Drive around. There's not one city that's gotten better in the United States. And it's visible. Our economy has degraded. The suicide rate has jumped. Public filth and disorder and crime have exponentially increased.
Right.
And yet, your concern is that the Ukrainians, a country most people can't find on a map, who've received tens of billions of U.S. tax dollars, don't have enough tanks. Right. I think it's a fair question to ask, like, where's the concern for the United States in that?
Well, it's not my concern. Tucker, I've heard that routine from you before, but that's not my concern. I'm running for president of the United States because I think this country's in a lot of trouble. I think
not his concern, you say. Not his concern. My guy. Now, of course, maybe it's just taken out of context. Maybe he meant something else besides that. I don't think so, though. But hey, hi. Welcome to another episode of A Couple of Hoosiers podcast. I'm your host, Ricky Kurtz. And today we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to try an open panel discussion. That's right. Anybody that wants to, if you're watching, feel free to go down in the video description down below and hit that Discord link. You can jump into the Discord, get verified, and join in the voice chat and voice your opinions about, what's going on in the world today. Biden just, allowed 3,000 reserves to head over to Europe and stuff like that. But I mean, we all know that we've already had troops over there, so it doesn't matter. It's just the impending, or is that the right word? I don't know. World War III is possibly on its way, and people are worried about it. I'm kind of worried about it. But who knows? We're going to talk about it. We got a couple of guys in here right now that are going to talk with me about it. But before we get into that, let me go ahead and run this ad real quick. That way people know where to find us and all of that good stuff. If I can find my ad. I'm a professional. But here we go. A Couple of Hoosiers podcast. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, CastBox, pretty much anywhere that you get your podcast. We do a live stream show here on Rumble. Come over here and subscribe to us and all that good stuff. And then every once in a while, we upload to YouTube, Odyssey, BitChute, pretty much anywhere that we can. But if you want to get all the good stuff, go to cohpodcast.substack.com. I write some pretty awesome blogs. You might learn something if you read them. Who knows? I can't promise anything. All I can do is just say, hey, go over there. Get you some big brain action going on and read what I'm writing. But let's kick it over to the Discord and show who we got going. 1 second. Click it over here now. Okay, so hopefully this is coming through. Let me unmute you. There we go. Hey, I can control your voice too. That way you're not too loud. Sweet. Okay, so Truther, go ahead and say hello to the people.
How you doing? Here for the truth. I think we lost Ricky.
Hey, I'm Burkert. I'm pretty sure that Ricky's going to be right back. Probably a technical glitch. So
Burkert, where are you from?
Colorado.
I'm from a Hoosier. I'm from Indiana.
Sorry about that.
I see. Nice to meet you. I'm pretty sure that this guy's coming back. And there he is.
Okay, there he is. Okay.
Like really, as soon as I started doing that, my washer decided to become a psychopath and try to bust out of its area, and It kind of scared me.
Runaway washer.
Runaway. Did you guys hear it?
Was it in Maximum Overdrive?
Maximum Overdrive is right. Maximum Overdrive is right. But yeah.
Great movie.
Let me figure out what I'm doing here real quick. That totally messed up everything that I was doing.
Took you a little bit.
Okay. So yeah, that first opening video that I had going, Mike Pence just completely shattered his career doing all that stuff. Just absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe he even said that. Like,
I really would like to see Trump ask him. Well, I want to hear him in a debate. I hope he still gets to the debate. I want to hear him try to process out of that. Or I want to hear how he's going to recover from that, because I don't think there's
Ukraine in 24 hours.
You know, I almost think it was worth playing again, in terms of, as Tucker's explaining, you know, how America is degrading and what he's running for, you know, to be the president, that the whole time he's agreeing with Tucker. Yeah, the cities are falling apart. Yeah, there's more suicides. But that's not my problem. That's not what I'm concerned about. And he isn't concerned about that, because I think that there is that hierarchy in our government now that looks to serve on a global scale, because that's where the markets are at.
no doubt.
And there's not enough focus here at home. So I think it was natural for Pence to go along and say that, to go along with Tucker. Yeah, all this is happening. And at the end of the day, I don't really care about it, because we got a big money laundering operation going on in Ukraine. And I am so focused on that. We need to get weapons to them. We need to get them anything they want. They're throwing all kinds of money in debt at this, that we're on the hook for.
Well, and then what's also funny about what Mike Pence was saying, because Tucker went on later to talk about how the Orthodox Christians over there are being persecuted, and there's been priests arrested. And I talked about it before on the show about it, and he was like, "No, I've talked with Christian leaders over there, and that's not happening." And I was just like, Who are you talking to? Are you talking to the ones that are under Zelensky's thumb over there?
Now, what kind of persecution are we talking about? I mean, I can't say I've heard a lot
they're
in that
down
realm.
Churches over there because they're saying that they're affiliated with Russia, because Eastern Orthodoxy is there's a big Orthodox presence over in Russia, and they're claiming that the churches over there are like working with Russia to get intel and stuff, and it's a whole mess. Yeah, I've seen priests being dragged out of churches, and it's a whole thing.
And it's complicated too, because in 1991, August 24th of 1991, Ukraine declared its independence from the former Soviet Union, and so since 1991, they've been their own thing, and there's probably people that are there that have heritage there that are very much Russian at heart. And, I don't know, it's a complicated thing, but it certainly seems like something that after the Gulf War and Desert Storm and the whole kit and caboodle in the Middle East for the last 2 decades, they seem all too eager to throw billions of dollars at this Ukraine deal. And I just don't get it. It's like, 7 years ago, we were told that we didn't have $20 billion to build a border wall. And all of a sudden, we've got all the billions we need to shove at Ukraine, and, nothing about homeland security.
1 second, so, I wasn't paying attention to the live chat, but yes, I am up here in South Bend, Indiana. So yes, I am a Hoosier. I run this podcast here, kind of thing. Just a small little thing, but nice to see you from Peru, Indiana. Thanks for watching. Thanks for chatting. If you'd like to jump into the Discord, feel free. The link's in the description. We're kind of having like an open panel discussion here, so talking about pretty much anything that comes to mind. But
Brian, you said Burker, you said something how he doesn't care. I'm wondering with this Hunter Biden and Burisma and what all's going on with the Biden's money laundering scam to get it to that level. Do you think more hands are in the till, and you think Ukraine kind of has something on us that we have to give him this money, or else he's going to come forward with so many more people involved with these schemes with other countries and everything? I don't know. You said that, their fingers are in Ukraine. Yeah. I mean, we needed, Pearl Harbor for World War II. We needed, things, 9/11 for, what happened in the Middle East. We really don't have anything like that to get the American people rallied behind, but yet we're just throwing all this money, just blindly. And we know there's corruption in the U.S. through it. And it amazes me that nobody says, wait a minute, with corruption and all this money going, how many more fingers are in this till? I just,
Well, honestly, they probably know who was the owner of that cocaine in the White House.
Yeah. I mean, there's just so much.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's just so much.
Problem. That's what Washington feels. It's not their problem. It's about the one world government.
True.
Well, and I don't think that they consider it a problem. I think that they're concerned about the narrative, and that's what Mike Pence was sticking to, was the narrative of Americans being in support of defending Ukraine's democracy. And what's going on over there is really not democracy. Since what's of course, they've been invaded by their neighbor, Russia, and I'm sure that there are people outside of Western media or Western ideology that would say that maybe Russia has its reasons for doing that, wanting to put together the old Soviet bloc of strength, especially considering who really knows where this world is heading, and maybe they're wanting to strengthen. Maybe they have a strategic reason. It's not right to kill people at the end of the day, but it almost seems like this beast of military weaponry, the ammunition, the munitions, and the personnel, the training. It just seems like this is a big, a big feed to the military industrial complex, that they have to constantly have these conflicts so that they can keep selling weapons, that people can keep dying, so that other places can be kept on different levels.
Wait. People are going to stop dying because we're out of bullets. I mean, I'm pretty sure the president said that. So I mean, nobody's going to die anymore.
But it's just getting to the point where we are a world police. We like to think of ourselves as a police, but I think that we have a condition in this country where
well, I mean, we
really want to be in the business of other nations for our interests, and really our interests really need to kind of start getting more focused on our borders and our inner country, and maybe not so much abroad. I think it's, as we're looking at all this abroad spending, to prop everybody up, to make friends, to make everything happen geopolitically the way they want it to. They're losing sight of what's happening here at home, and it's just rotting within. And if we don't take care of it, we're going to lose it all. And a lot of people fought and died, to preserve this for what we have here. So I hope it's not taken lightly.
True. Yeah. Yeah. I kind of get this feeling like we've always put out that message, like we're the good guys, and we're just trying to help these other lesser countries, who can't really like get their stuff together, and we've got to insert our military over there to do some good. But it's all, as more information keeps on coming out, as people keep on revealing, pulling back the curtain and seeing what's really going on. It's just been this whole money system, and it's just been greed operating everything. I got another video that I'm gonna play. Truther, I know you're not going to be able to really see the video since you're on your phone, but you'll be able to hear it. Trump was recently asked about foreign policy, and I kind of wanted to show you guys this. Let me get this set up. Alive, go ahead and do it. Boom. Make it big.
You said you could end the war in Ukraine in 24 hours.
Yes, I could.
How would you do that?
I know Zelensky very well. I felt he was very honorable because when they asked him about the perfect phone call that I made, he said it was indeed perfect. He said it was, he didn't even know what they were talking about. He could have grandstanded, I felt threatened.
Well, that's not going to be enough for Putin to stop bombing
No,
Ukraine.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that I know Zelensky very well and I know Putin very well, even better. And I had a good relationship, very good with both of them. I would tell Zelensky, no more. You got to make a deal. I would tell Putin, if you don't make a deal, we're going to give them a lot. We're going to give them more than they ever got if we have to. I will have the deal done in one day. One day.
You said you could end the war in Ukraine in 24 hours.
Okay. Get that.
If anybody could do it, he could.
But I mean, one thing that I noticed there, I don't know if you guys saw the comment there, Sovereign Bra. He was he was asking if there's any candidate that's not going to be sending tons of money over to Ukraine, because he was like, listen, I'll tell Putin, we're going to send them so much weapons and so much ammunition that they're not going to know what to do. So I don't know. Unless that's just like him trying to, like, you know, we're gonna put out these threats and all that stuff. I don't know.
Hey, where exactly are you finding that chat at?
The chat?
Yeah.
What chat?
I thought you were reading the chat for this stream.
For Rumble?
Oh, it's on Rumble. Thank you.
It'll be on Rumble. Oh, but yeah. I mean, I don't have, I do have some issues with Trump. I mean, he's not my favorite person in the world, but out of everybody, I mean, as long as he cools down on that, hey, we're gonna send them more and more and more. I hope that's just like him, like bolstering up talk and, like, you know, trying to just say, you know, we're gonna put the fear of God in Putin and he better stop doing stupid stuff. But I don't know if you guys got any thoughts on that.
I think Russia is going to save face and
True.
stay in this war because it's all they have left.
Mm-hmm.
I think China, I think that's why they openly made deals with China, trying to threaten us. And this is just a standoff. And, you know, I don't see them. I think Trump says that. I think Trump believes that. I think President Trump would do his very best to get that, but I just don't see peace like that happening. You got too many people in Ukraine who have lost too much because of this aggression. Think of it, if somebody would come into your house and do what, you know, just because some guy in the USA says,
well, I mean,
hey,
we also have to
you're
think
still
of
going to have the feud between the people, and I think this has been a year now. I mean, you just can't. I don't know. I think that.
I mean, I think the whole Russian Ukraine thing is also a lot more complicated than, like, a lot of people put on it. Like, should Russia have started getting aggressive with them? Is there a bit of history that goes behind it that a lot of people don't, like, really understand? Yeah, but I don't know. I'm just, like Brian was saying earlier. I mean, we got to focus more on the southern border. I don't know if you guys heard of the movie that just came out, Sound of Freedom. You guys hear about that? Talking about
my wife wants to see it.
Yeah,
I've heard, we haven't seen it yet. I've heard.
Yeah, I've heard some good stuff about it, but that, like, a big thing that movie goes into. I haven't seen it, but I've heard a lot of people talking about it, and a big thing that they put emphasis on is all the stuff that's going on because of how open our borders are. And, like, yeah, a show of strength of Russia, Ukraine, but I mean, Russia has been trying to keep NATO from, you know, pushing on their borders, and with this whole 3,000 reserves being stationed over there. I've heard a lot. I think even Biden had said something about how it's to prepare for Ukraine's eventual involvement in NATO, which I can't remember. I know there is a one of the NATO agreements, like if any NATO member gets attacked, then all NATO members have to jump in.
Yes.
I can't remember exactly what it is, but that's my main concern on it is the potential for a third world war. Because I mean, I think I'm out of the draft range. I won't get drafted into another war.
Oh.
So I don't know. It's all just interesting stuff. I would rather the focus be on our border because too much stuff is coming through.
In terms of that draft thing, I just want to say that if it's Russia and China versus the United States, all of us, it doesn't matter if you can walk. Guys like Joe Biden better be on the front lines too.
Oh, no
I think this war coming. Let's not talk about if, but when, because you're right. We moved 3,000 over there or whatever, and China. I heard a report that 5 to 15 military age men are coming through the border from China, and we're finding that these little pocket cells, if you would, 5 to 15 are coming through at a time. I don't think this war coming, it will be ended with nuclear war, but it won't start, and it'll be in our front yards. I think it will be. I think it will be on the home front.
Can I just say I couldn't disagree with you more. I don't believe that World War III is coming, and the reason behind that is because if you decimate and reduce down to a deci is a tenth, right? If you decimate the planet, it's not going to be good for business. Now, is calling the human population part of their plans through war? Maybe, but like you say, it'd have to be nuclear. But then you really leave a lot of mess that, like, if you nuke the planet, if everybody launches nukes,
war is going to be.
I don't think like that. That's been a lot of talk around Putin. Like he's got all this nuclear force, and like people are like, he's crazy. But I don't think he's that crazy to where he's going to start. I honestly don't know if I really believe that anybody would set off nukes. I like you're saying, it's bad for business. I mean, because the world does need people to keep the economies going, and these people are in it for the money. So if there's less people, that's going to be less money.
But I would have to say all of that is out the window if their plan is actually to reduce the human population throughout the world through means of war and things like that. Because if and when a natural disaster of catastrophic proportions hits this planet again, it's going to be easier to control a smaller number of people than it is going to be a 8 billion people, and feeding them too. And they're going to have to be worker bees. So if they have a plan in this that they need to globalize and reduce it down, I could see that being, we just read an article about aspartame or whatever that stuff's called that was in the Diet Cokes that causes lumps and brain cancer and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think it's beyond them. The FDA approved that, and they're stellar. They have a stellar record. We trust them. But they, that stuff was bad, and I don't think it's beyond them to reduce us down, whether it's through cancer or war or by whatever means. And that's a horrible thought, but it's a red pill everybody's got to accept is this government don't fucking care about you.
Not at all. And TD Hyde is right. It would definitely blow their climate change hoax because just putting all that nuclear radiation into the atmosphere, I'm sure that'll be far worse than the cow farts. Jeez. I still cannot get over, like, I keep on seeing this video reoccur on Twitter of these two. I want to say they're some European kids, but they're like, the best way to deal with climate change is to get rid of all the farming. And I'm like,
Those must be the insect people, the people that want to eat insects.
Eat the bugs. Just like Mr. Klaus Schwab. Oh my gosh. Speaking of that stuff, I just started reading Noah. What's his? Damn it. Yuval Noah Harari's book, Homo Deus. And oh my gosh, I couldn't get past the first couple of pages with just being like, this guy is such a pretentious asshole. He hates humans. He hates humans. Like, you could see it like clear as day in his writing. He just does not like humans. He doesn't like the way we think. He just wants us all. I don't like him. I don't like him. Yuval Harari, if you ever see this, I don't like you. I don't like your face. I don't like your voice. I don't like nothing about you, bud. You ain't turning me into a cyborg.
So basically, this guy's like in favor of depopulation.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. There's.
Well,
he
said I can't ever find the video anymore, but I did see a video where he was like, by 2050 there will no longer be any biological humans. Like, we're all going to be implanted with like chips and all this stuff connected to the internet, and I'm just like, you're a sociopath. Like, I don't like them.
But, okay, let me ask you this in terms of the implants and stuff like that. Because I know Elon Musk has, what's that called? Neuralink?
Neuralink, yeah.
Neuralink. And, and as this moves forward, there needs to be a talk about, if they were able to put chips inside of the minds of young people that allow them to hold a wider capacity of information, refer to it at a quicker pace, to actually improve them to the point where we were witness to young people becoming doctors that were able to cure things like cancer and develop even better technology because of their enhanced ability to interact with AI. And if that were the case, where we could actually improve human life, would it be worth a trade? I mean, think about it. I mean, if a lot of these things, how many times has somebody lost a grandparent or a parent to cancer and thought, or a child for that matter? When you lose a child to cancer, I can't imagine that pain. Yeah, that's a painful thing to think about.
And that's a big thing that they push with the stuff. But real quick before I get on that.
Yep.
TD Hyde said, didn't Kamala say something about depopulation a couple days ago? I honestly can't stand listening to that woman, so anytime I see anything about her talking, I immediately shut it off and I don't want to hear it. But I wouldn't be surprised.
Did you hear her explain time? Did you hear her explain transportation? If she's explaining, depopulation, I want to hear this, because when she speaks, it's as though words are coming out of her mouth, and people have to conjugate them in their brain to make sure that it is a sentence, because she's
yesterday
speaking.
Was yesterday. Today is today, and today is also yesterday's tomorrow.
That's the game I play. I always count the
time. Just
put a screwdriver straight in my ears.
Time, we wouldn't know what time it is, so we must keep time so it can be time.
Ah, you guys are picking on Kamala. She's trying so hard.
Trying too hard. She just she would probably be better off if she just didn't try and just started. Like I don't know. I don't. She. Dumb.
Well, you notice they really don't let her out in public that much anymore.
No.
Who writes her speeches?
I don't know. But going back to what you were talking about with the whole Neuralink and all that stuff, and yeah, like all that stuff is like really tragic, and like a lot of the framework that they use for this, like their whole thing is that they want to end human suffering with like wars and all this stuff. But I honestly think that is more sinister than the actual suffering that takes place, because I do believe that suffering is good for human beings. Like, we might not feel good about it, but honestly, I think suffering can be used as a tool.
Is that your Mike Pence moment? That's not what I'm concerned about.
No.
Screw your suffering.
No,
I really don't care if you're going through heartache and suffering. No, we just gotta.
No, it is good.
I believe
because it's kind of like the concept.
I hate Disney, but they nailed it. It's the circle of life. You know, they wrote a song about it. I mean, Elton John.
The circle of life.
We live, we do, and then we die. I mean, death is a sure thing. I mean,
Well, I mean, like it's kind of it's kind of like the I want to say metaphor of the children with the silver spoon in their mouth who never had like a day of hardship or anything like that. They're cut off from that knowing. Like, I mean, yeah, they're suffering that we don't like to deal with, but I mean, from my viewpoint on it, I think that suffering is meant to mold us and refine us and make us better. And
could I just add? Could I add to that a little bit, since we do recognize that our suffrages through life define who we are and what we learn and what our way in life, and everybody does it differently. But we always look to our grandparents. I think most people, I would say. I know that unfortunately there's some broken homes out there that really leave it in chaos, but generally there's a grandparent somewhere who's a solid person that somebody can always refer to as my nana or my papa or whatever. But imagine those are the people we consider wise because they have this life accumulated knowledge. And imagine that if by dabbling with not biometric, maybe that's not the right word. Not necessarily going full-fledged cyborg, but if we were to alter ourselves, in some ways that we've done, hearing aids, contacts, heart pacemakers, a variety of things that we've customized ourselves to live a better life. But if it were to stretch out the life expectancy of grandpa and grandma, wise people, if instead of living to be 80 or 90 or 100, imagine if they lived to be 140 or 150 or 160. How much wiser would they be? And what kind of a pull would that make to the human civilization towards things that over age you come to know as truth because you've lived it, and you can implement these, you can show to your younger generations.
But see, that my problem with that is that truth and stuff like that is becoming subjective and relative, and like everybody has their own version of truth. My truth, and like anymore, like you
have lost absolute truths. We as a people worldwide has lost absolute truths. You're exactly right. Nobody.
It's post-enlightenment thinking.
Is dead. It's all relative. Well, I don't agree with that, so that's not true to me. Well, no. That's not how. I mean, you see it with. I mean, that is the more knowledge we have, and the more technology we can shove into our bodies, whether it be through a computer or through a chip.
And I mean, honestly,
make us better
with a chip.
I mean, more confused as a people than we were 100 years ago, 200 years, 500 years ago. We're more confused as people.
Probably just a quick reminder to anybody in the chat that if they want to go down into the link and get into the Discord channel and lighten this up a little bit, come on in, have a chat, tell us what's on your mind.
Good. Good job.
And speaking about suffering, people that are actually watching this, suffering through this,
suffering through watching us ramble on about stuff. I mean,
and if you're watching this after it uploaded, be sure to subscribe and check back to see when there will be another live broadcast if you want to get in and put on your say, but you don't want to set all this up.
Honestly,
just keep an eye on it.
That book Homo Deus, I had a thought in my mind about like just going through like each chapter and like kind of doing like a recording and just like analyzing his words and what he's saying. Because it's oh my gosh, it's such a But no, like with the chips that they want to put in our head, and like they want the body of they refer to it as the body of the body of internet or something like that. I can't remember the term they use for it. The
I'm
internet,
not against it.
the internet of bodies. My worry about it is that like these same people are the same people that they're so worried about like what information that we're taking in. Like we got fact checkers now. That only happened like 7-8 years ago when a certain person started running for president, and Hillary Clinton was like, "Hey, we got fact checkers now. Go check out what he's saying." Thank you for listening, sir. I appreciate it. Be sure to smash that like button. But no, that's my only problem with it, because like even with our phones, like I know I have some news apps on my phone, and like just through that, like they like people that aren't awake to the BS that's being thrown at them, and just the random titles that they see for these headlines and these news articles that I read sometimes. I'm just like, who the hell falls for this stuff? But if you have that stuff being like directly uploaded into your brain, I know Apple is talking about they're going to be releasing augmented reality goggles soon. If you guys know what that is.
No, not a clue.
Okay, so augmented reality is different from virtual reality. Virtual reality is just like you're inside a video game or a virtual world like that. Augmented reality is like how you've seen in the movies where like they have like like these little screens that can like be placed like right over what you're seeing in the real world. And like you could like literally be watching like TV or playing a game while you're doing what you're doing in real life. I think even The Simpsons did an episode about it, where people were walking around wearing their VR headsets and doing stuff like that. But yeah, I think Apple's supposed to be releasing augmented reality headsets soon, and it just gets to this whole thing where like the people that are trying to feed us this information have a certain narrative that they want us to fall for, and some of us are awake enough to see the truth of it. But yeah, that's my whole spiel on it.
We talk a lot of times about acknowledging this they want to control and know everything, and the one thing that we never really touch, I mean, we acknowledge the fact that presence is there, whether it's through cell phones or tracking or spying, however it is. There is a digital beast that's keeping track of all of us. And the thing that we don't ask ourselves is why? What would promote them to go to such lengths to want to control a species or a population? And I guess if you get down to thinking about it, every once in a while, once a week or something, or maybe, I don't know, there's a little bit of ruckus or chaos that erupts in one of these U.S. cities, whether it was just the other morning that somebody was shot, or 4 people were shot and killed by a guy, or, whatever. But in terms of large populations of people, if you don't keep them entertained, what happens? I mean, we are the biggest we've ever been in this country, and we've got people flooding in all the time. And, when people get this crowded up, and, there's a fall in moral values, in the country per se, that, yeah, they better keep these people entertained, because if they're not, they're going to come off the hook at some point. They're going to become, whatever.
It's a lot. I know this might be ironic saying this, but it's these people who are like perpetually online and all this stuff. Like they're stuck. Like there's so many people that actually, like, I know, yeah, we're online, so we kind of like are dependent on people who are online right now listening to what we're saying. But there's
anything in moderation.
Yeah, everything in moderation. That's the problem, is that like I can't think of the dopamine hits that people are getting when they're like watching like all these like graphic things, like with the, like, because video games are becoming more realistic now than ever. I mean, go back 30, what, 20, 30 years ago, like you had like these pixelated pieces and like it wasn't that big of a deal, but now it's like so immersive, like you actually feel that you're in there. And now they're coming out with like the virtual reality. People are like literally like having a tough time dissociating between like real life and like what's going on and there. I don't know. Yeah,
but we're like that with anything. I went on a binge and watched nothing but Survivor, and I kept on walking up to people saying, "You want to join an alliance?" I mean, no, I'm sorry.
Want to help me steal the idol?
Yeah, the idol.
No, but
but I mean, how does this pertain to World War III? I think it is. World War III is going to be about depopulation of the human race.
I mean, go back to the
and they're going to wipe out. They're going to wipe out targets, and they're going to manipulate things. I think that's what it's going to boil down to. I think that's the real reason behind all of this, for money and power. I mean, that's all it's about, and to get rid of, they want this technology to make us live longer, but yet they want to get rid of us. So I mean, the technology is not for everyone. It's not for.
That's what I was gonna say.
Exactly.
Yeah, their plan is they want to live eternally, but not us. They
don't
want us.
There's only one way to do that, and that's through the Lord God Almighty.
You get the coronavirus, they get the chips.
The chip that they're gonna put in us is just gonna be the self-destruct chip. 3, 2, 1.
Oh man, wouldn't that make an obedient population?
Yeah, like, hey, we got this button here. You don't do what we say. I'd be like, well, it is what it is. Bye. I wasn't made to be on this earth forever.
So that would be a motive for them to do such a thing. But in terms of World War III, I don't think that it's going to be nuclear bombs flying everywhere, because I think that gets pretty messy. And Chernobyl was bad enough on them. Yeah. But I think that there's a possibility that we could see more of a viral type of a thing. I often wondered in the early days of the pandemic if a country was ever determined to make a virus, biological virus that would be biological warfare, what that would look like. And, I think it's a lot cleaner, because then, then they've depopulated, the people that they want to get rid of, and can control the ones that they have remaining.
Speaking of that, I can't remember where I was reading this. This was.
I'll be right back.
Go ahead. It was a couple years ago. I can't remember. I want to say it was China. More than likely, it was China. But they were trying to come up with this this biological weapon that they could hone in strictly to certain genetics, to where it could.
Yeah, I think I heard about that. Yeah,
it could just affect like a certain race of people, like a certain type of genetic code, and somebody could let that go off. But I don't know. It's the
what if that was Corona?
I mean,
you don't really see a lot of Eskimos anymore. I wonder, maybe they've been implementing that.
I'm pretty sure Eskimos were a myth to begin with. I think that was a big psyop to think that there's just these little guys in these little coats that are living in the ice, making these cool little igloos. I think it's a psyop. Everything is fake and gay. But let me remind everybody where they can find us real quick while I refresh my brain on some things to talk about. I'm going to go ahead and run this ad real quick, and then we'll jump back into it. So a couple of
I can't see any of the comments or anything, but I'm wondering what the viewers are thinking about.
Yeah, no, go ahead. I'm not going to run my ad. You can just go ahead and keep on talking.
I think the first thing that China's going to do is take out our internet. I think the internet's going to come out, and that's what's wrong.
I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and run my ad real quick. That way people know where to find us. And you're just like, okay, I'm going to start talking.
I'm sorry.
And I'm just like, yeah, no, go ahead.
Hey, Brian. Hey, Hoosier, run your ad. I'll shut up now.
That was funny. No, you're good.
I'm going to get a drink.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna run this ad real quick just to let people know where they can find us. So a couple of Hoosiers podcasts. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Castbox, pretty much anywhere that you get your podcast. We do a live stream show over here on Rumble sometimes Saturday, sometimes Sunday. It's really random, but then we sometimes upload to YouTube, Odyssey, BitChute. But if you want to get everything all in one place, go to cohpodcast.substack.com. I write some pretty good articles on stuff. Go read them, check them out. Let me know what you think about them. Because, I like doing that. Now, you can go ahead and talk about how they're going to try to shut off the internet, and I honestly think that might be for the best.
I think that's how Russia is working with China. I think they're gonna. I've heard of Chinese hackers got in again.
Mm-hmm.
I think last week to America. I think they're setting up the groundwork, and they're gonna take away our internet. I don't think they're gonna be able to take away our power grids. Hopefully not.
I do remember just reading about NASA was releasing this information, how there could be this big catastrophic event that shuts off our internet. So
there,
the
yeah,
next big
I mean,
psyop,
you don't hear things like that without them knowing about it first.
So it's a big deal. There was times in life when we didn't have the internet.
Like
well,
I
at
said,
least my life.
I was like, I mean, that might be a good thing. I mean, yeah, people aren't going to be able to watch their 5-second TikToks about cats pushing stuff off the table, but
and how long does it take for those people that aren't entertained anymore to get bored and start going out and doing things that I don't know.
Some catastrophic stuff, maybe some more summer of love going around.
Oh man.
Because we talk about World War III, but in all honesty, in your head, do all you think is nuclear bombs? Is that World War III? I think we're in the middle of World War III right now. I think we're at the beginning stages, and people are, just like in the game of Risk, they're moving their pieces around.
Well, I mean, even if you go back and read for World War I, World War II, if you read up on that, I mean, that wasn't just boom, we're in there and we're doing stuff. No, there was a lot of lead up to it, but I mean, this whole tension between like I was saying earlier, there is a lot of history between Russia and Ukraine, and Russia and everybody else. We've been ever since the Cold War. We've been kind of painting them as the number one bad guys, and I don't know. I think there's more to it than a lot of people like to lead on. But that's just me. That's just me. But let me see if I can find something real quick.
Did you find it?
I did not.
As I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
Go ahead and get down to that link and join Discord, and you can keep him from singing.
Yeah, anytime you guys feel like it, just come in, get verified, join the Discord, join a community. We're fun people, and we can share jokes, conspiracy theories, anything that you want.
We can make an alliance.
We can make an alliance.
I've got a hidden immunity idol, you guys.
There's something that
What do they do back there in Indiana?
Well, Mike Pence doesn't care, so we do whatever we want.
Ew, this was
Hey, you're the guys that gave us Pete Buttigieg too. What is with Indiana?
Don't get me started on that guy. Here, let's check out this from Reuters. Let me check something real quick. Checking stuff. Okay. Share your screen. Going live. Make it big. Okay. Yeah.
That's what she said.
So, from Reuters, a completely trustworthy news outlet, just released this an hour ago saying Putin says Russia will use cluster bombs in Ukraine if it has to. Interesting.
Yeah, cluster bombs. Mm.
What is that noise? You guys hearing that noise? Yeah, that.
I don't know.
I was wondering if there was somebody trying to join, but I don't see
I bet you that it is.
Nope, I don't see anybody. I don't see anybody, so we'll just keep on trucking. Okay, so President Vladimir Putin said Russia had
Did I call that a what? Keep on trucking. Come on, let's go.
had a sufficient stockpile of cluster bombs and reserved the right to use them if such munitions, the use of which he said he regarded as a crime, were deployed against Russian forces in Ukraine. Ukraine said on Thursday it had received cluster bombs from the United States, its biggest military backer, which says the munitions are needed to compensate for shell shortage faced by Kiev's forces at the time when they are mounting a counteroffensive. Look at that guy right there. So that's pretty interesting. I wonder if this will say anything. Let me hit play on there.
President Vladimir Putin said Sunday that Russia has cluster bombs and will use them if Ukraine uses the weapons against Russian forces first. He told state TV Moscow that the Russian Federation has a, quote, sufficient stockpile of different types of cluster munitions. Putin denied using them, but went on to say, if they are used against us, we reserve the right to take reciprocal action. On Thursday, Ukraine said it had received cluster bombs from the United States.
They're literally saying everything I just said.
Okay, and look at Zelensky right there. Is that a guy you want to trust with cluster bombs? Look at him. I don't trust him as far as I can throw him.
Well, I mean we can't forget that he was an actor who played...
He was a comedian, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a comedian, and he played an actor in a movie where he became president of Ukraine, and then shortly
no,
after
he
that...
did not.
No.
Yes.
Tell me that's not true.
That
you guys didn't know
fake
that?
News.
No. Get out of here. You guys, oh my gosh.
Are you serious? That's real? That's real. He played in a movie where he became the president.
Yes.
This is that reminds me of that movie with Robin Williams in it where he became president. What was that called? Dobbs?
Mork and Mindy?
No.
Let me find it. Servant of the People. It was even on Netflix.
Man of the Year was the name of the movie Robin Williams was in.
No, I don't want to go in there. I was hoping you guys would just tell me about it.
I can't believe that. I've never heard that. That blows me away.
Okay, let me look this up more. Servant of the People.
Get out of here. That is crazy.
So that's how he. I played a judge in a school play when I was in high school. And Hello Dolly. So can I be a judge now?
Sure.
There's a real argument here that was conditioning, especially seen by a lot of the Ukrainian people, or even globally. Which I can't say I've ever heard of it, but wasn't one of the blockbusters.
Well, we had Ronald Reagan. He was an actor that became president.
Yeah, but he didn't make a movie about being, he didn't do that. He did westerns.
So
this
here,
guy.
let me read this real quick. So Netflix to stream Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's Servant of the People. The satirical series, which originally streamed on Netflix from 2017 to 2021, has returned to the service in the U.S. It's a satirical series that launched Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's political career. Is once again available to be viewed on Netflix. Servant of the People follows a teacher, Zelensky, who unexpectedly becomes president after a rant against corruption goes viral on social media. The show ran for 3 seasons and ended when Zelensky decided to run for president of Ukraine in 2019 under the banner of a new political party, also called Servant of the People.
Wow. That's conditioning right there.
That screams CIA.
That really does.
Dude, that
screams CIA.
Oh, damn it. They're Tavistock, the Tavistock Institute. Back in World War I, the Tavistock Institute was responsible for a lot of propaganda that was being pushed by authors and stuff like that, because they didn't have the reach of the media that they had now. So they had like a lot of big name writers like H.G. Wells. I can't ever think of the other guy's name. He wrote Brave New World. But yeah, they had, like, we were just talking about, me and Charlie were just talking about this a few episodes ago about the Tavistock Institute, because that was a big British social engineering process that was going on over there. And over here in America, we have the Rand Institute. So
anybody in the chat that wants to get in here, drop into the Discord link and get in here and chat it up.
No doubt. Here,
Ricky makes it easy.
Yes, I do. Is that a Michigan flag? I just saw. Hey, go blue, bud.
What?
Go blue. Get out of here with that
Go
Irish
blue.
crap. I just saw the live chat. I can't see it while I'm.
Does he see that?
Hey,
Go blue.
whoa. I didn't. Oh, okay. Yeah, go blue, bud. Get out of here with your silly little Irishman.
Oh, I can't stand Notre Dame.
But yeah, no, like that's a yeah. Social engineering is a big I think I was reading about it. They even had it to where a lot of the fashion that was being brought out, and like those big hairdos that women had back in like the 20s that they were
The beehives.
about. Yeah, like they were responsible for that. It was pretty much just like pushing stuff out and seeing what people would take in, and they did a lot of stuff like that, and we're still seeing it. How could you? How could I not? How could I not? Come on, my God.
How could I what? I can't read it.
Well, you don't need to read it. I'm reading it.
Oh, okay.
Are you reading all the comments?
No, I'm not. Get it? Those silly little Catholic school guys.
Oh my goodness! Somebody's not an Irish fan here already. Let me say, we have 10 more years, I believe, of Michigan beating Notre Dame before they play again, and I cannot wait.
I was honestly really upset when they dropped that rivalry, because that was just
that was one of the best. Win or lose, whoever won, they were always such great.
Just
games.
all the trash talking that went in with it. All the trash talking that led up to the game.
Man, it was one of I was really disappointed that series got put on hold for a while. I was very.
I honestly forgot.
I've been to Notre Dame Stadium. I mean, I live close to it, but I'm a Michigan fan. But it's just a great rivalry.
I honestly forgot that was up there. Usually on a normal show, this is a new thing that we're doing. If you are new to the show, we usually don't do these open panel things. It's usually just me and my co-host Charlie, but he's not here tonight. But normally, I have a different camera set up, and that's usually not even in the picture. So I kind of like this now. I might keep it just to bug the Irish fans out there. But yeah, no, yeah. So Zelensky played as a president and then went to go on to become president and created a political party named after the series that was like, what? And I mean, people are just like, yeah, that happened. Did you guys see the video where he was on one of those uh, Europeans Got Talent or something like that, whatever they got over there? But he was playing a guitar wearing nothing but like underwear.
Zelensky.
Yes.
Happily, no, I've never seen that.
Oh my gosh, dude, there's
That's probably one I scrolled through. Going back to those Kamala videos, the quickest way for me to swipe past a video is to see Kamala's face, because I know whatever's coming next. I'm just like, I don't care.
just like you're
I
sit there
love
like,
listening to her. I mean, she's just so profound when she uses those things called what? How does she describe when she uses words?
Yeah,
those,
very wordy.
Those words, and they form sentences and they form phrases, and
Which gives us meaning for the words
Which gives us
in our
the
sentences.
words.
Oh gosh, yeah, the world's a screwy place. The world is a screwy place, but
Do you think he sniffed her hair?
oh, he definitely did. There was just a video of Biden. He was doing a meet and greet with people, and he was going down. This lady was recording them, and Biden went down to sniff this little girl's head, and he like whispered something and like, "Don't tell your mom." And then she was like, "I'm recording this, right?" And he was like, "Oh."
I think that happened overseas. I think that happened when he was gosh darn it.
Dude's a pedophile creep. I don't care what anybody says. The guy's like say what you like. I got my complaints on Trump. I don't think he's like the golden boy that a lot of people like to paint him as. But I mean, Biden. Like I will definitely say that I want Trump more than Biden. I mean, no doubt.
Thank you.
Biden's a puppet.
Like in like nobody else.
Biden's.
I saw this. I
great still thing. Don't think he's gonna make it to the end of his presidency.
I'm surprised he made it this long.
I don't think he's gonna.
I figure Kamala would have pushed him down the steps already.
Yeah. Yeah, that's been a concern of mine. I've been
as heated as
you notice you never see her following him out of Air Force One. No. I don't think they let her anywhere near him when there's steps involved.
They were very heated during their debates. She even called him racist.
She believed Tara Reid before she believed Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Oh, that was kind of that. Wow.
Yeah, but no. I just recently saw, because I know there's the big debate on Team Trump or Team DeSantis right now, and there was a.
That's a debate.
Oh yeah, on Twitter there's a bunch of people, like there's a bunch of DeSantis people and a bunch of Trump people, and yeah, I mean DeSantis has done some good things, but if I am going to vote in the next election, if it even matters to vote, but if Trump needs to have his second go around. I really believe that. By far the best rivalry. True.
The problem, if nothing's done with the Bidens before this election, I mean, either Hunter or Joe, if that's not exposed, if that's not dealt with, if that's not charged, then no, I do not want President Trump to have another term, because that means his whole term is going to be dealt with. Impeach this, sue that. I mean, they're just going to keep going after him. It's not that I don't like. I really would like to see President Trump truly do the job he wants to do, but I just think that they are so against him. It would be. It would cause more. I think a lot of people agree with me on this, and that's why they're on Team DeSantis. It'd be more distracting then good. And I don't. And it also depends on who he names as running mate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, before one of my sons said today that he will not vote for Trump in the primary, but if he's the only one, then yeah, he would vote for him. But I mean, I guess that's where, and I don't really believe these polls. I really don't. I don't think he has that much of a lead. I don't know. It's not until people start doing the primaries, and it's not until people start getting on stage and debating where this race starts. To call anything right now, I mean, what about that chick? I mean, from what's her name that's running?
I don't even care. I'm not voting for a woman.
Well, she's good. I mean, what's her name? Man, Haley or
Nikki Haley.
Yeah, Nikki
the
Haley,
ambassador to the UN.
Is
she?
Would you rather have? I mean, America's going to elect a woman president at some point in time. Would you rather
Haley's
be
not it?
Huh?
Nikki Haley's not
But
it.
would you rather be a Republican or a conservative or a Democrat?
Oh, for the first woman president?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
I would rather see a Republican or a conservative get a woman. No, I do not believe a woman should be president.
If a woman is president, I'm rooting for anarchy.
Because the same reason why I won't ever take a chip.
They need to be
the same reason why I won't take a chip.
Who she's making
I'm created in God's image, and He created the man to be the head of the house and the country. And truth. A lot of people don't like it, but that's the way it should be. I mean, I'm not saying that my wife.
The fact is, women run
without my wife. I'm not saying that I am lost without my wife. I need her. She makes me stronger. She makes me better. She makes me. But it's still my job. At the end of the day, I'm still the head of the household, and it's my responsibility. I take responsible for any failures or any successes, but the only reason why we have successes in my family is because of my wife. I mean, that's the proper, that's the true, and usually all the wrongs are because of me, but still it's His design that the man would lead. Wow. That was, I probably put a target on people won't shop at me anymore. Target.
If a woman becomes president, I'm just rooting for anarchy, because that's going to be the eventual downfall of the.
Well, I sure don't. I sure don't.
What about somebody like Candace Owens? What if Candace Owens ran for president or came in as vice
Candace
president?
Owens. Now that's a different story.
Why?
She's a stud.
I think she would make a great candidate.
Think she would be. I've heard her speak. I've heard radio interviews with her. And,
what about somebody like Sarah Huckabee? I mean, Sarah Huckabee is another.
But you're leaving out this important part in the equation. If a woman is running as president, becomes president, then who is she making a sandwich for?
Man, dude.
I think it would be good to have a barefooted president. I mean, maybe
I think you guys are like tempting World War III.
Hey, bring it on. If we haven't got it all, I personally think that that's what this world needs. We just need a big go at it. Everybody fighting each other, and then we'll stop having all these sensitive, weak people who are offended because I called them the wrong pronoun, and then I didn't correct it afterwards.
That's why I don't think we should have a woman we need more men. We need men to be men because we're men, not because who don't get butthurt over because you disagree with me. So what? You disagree with me. I'm still going to stand my ground. I'm still going to speak the truth. Mm-hmm. And we've lost the poetic warriors. You have to have a tenderness to you, but you also have to have a fierceness to you, and we've lost that as men. I mean, maybe a war would be good for us. The struggle we would face
would
saying, either make you or break you.
Strong men create good times create weak men create hard times create strong men.
So we're in that. I think we have a bunch of weak men.
Mm-hmm.
You don't say.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, there's a bunch of them, but not all of them.
I'm honestly to the point where I think like the whole political game is just that. I think it's just a game. So
it's
like,
just a game. It's just
I am
just a ride.
I'm kind of
honestly, seriously, it's honest poll here, and even in the fans, do you really think your vote matters? Honestly, I'm vote.
Skeptical.
We've heard our whole life. Your vote, it matters. Do you really believe your vote matters?
Well, I mean, my biggest problem with it is I think you know, they've got us on this whole like Republican, Democrat, and like a lot of these people are like they're working for the same team. I'm not allowed to say who that team is, but I mean,
Lakers?
The Lakers, yes, the Lakers. Or is it the Dallas Stars? The Stars. But no, but I don't know.
It's the Mighty Ducks.
The Mighty Ducks. I'm seeing like a lot of things going on with between like NGOs like here in Indiana we've been dealing with a lot of crap. I know the abortion ban just finally got pushed through after a year. And then I was just recently talking about all the transgender for children nonsense that's been going around that got a ban put on it, but now the what is it, the 80, it's not the ADL, ACLU. Yeah, they're suing Indiana on that now because that's what happened last year with after the whole Roe v. Wade. Was that last year or 2021?
I think that was last year.
Time's just melding for me, but yeah, Roe v. Wade got overturned, and then Indiana came through and they put a pretty good abortion ban in place that I was very accepting of. They put that ban in place, and then the ACLU came in. Funny enough, using the Satanic Temple people to, you know, fight that on a religious right.
Yep, I remember that episode.
Mm-hmm. Using them as their cornerstone for why it's a religious violation to ban abortion. So for like a whole year, it's been suppressed, and we haven't been able to get that ban pushed forward. But now that's being pushed through. A court has finally said, like, no, you guys are stupid. We're going to push this ban through. There's nothing you guys can do about it. Thank you. But now they're doing the same thing. We just got gender-affirming care to be banned, and now they're suing us for that too, because if they can't mutilate children, what the hell are they going to do? I constantly see them on Twitter, like, saying all that, just so much dumb stuff. So it's like we get this legislation pushed through. We get the politicians in that we like, and then you have all these big non-governmental organizations coming in with their big money that comes from who the hell knows where, and they're going to these Soros-funded judges that are going to be like, oh well, we're just gonna shut that down right now. We're gonna put a hamper on that. So I don't know. The abortion ban finally being put through is kind of giving me a little bit of a white pill moment, and things might start getting good. But in terms of like the elections and all that stuff, I don't want to say I'm completely black-pilled on it, but I just see so many things going on where I'm like, well, you do have some legitimate people that are running for office and want to do something good, but then I also get this feeling like there's a lot of controlled opposition, and this is just a big old game that the big hands in the pot are putting us against each other, and they want us to hate each other. They want us out in the street just choking each other and fighting with each other because you're an evil Democrat or you're an evil Republican, and I'm like, you know what? They're both evil. How about that?
This is going to be really sad, but
Oh, no.
It's because we have our cake and we eat it too. If you really want to look at strong reasoning why America is where it's at, one of the best 23 minutes I could ever tell anybody is watch the South Park show where they had the government and Eric Cartman had to go back in time, and because everybody was arguing about either war or peace.
I'm a little bit rock and roll.
America is set up to have its cake and eat it too. We can sit here, we can make podcasts, we can have great interviewers like Tucker Carlson and all these people that are exposing what a sham, government is, but yet government lets us because they're still going to do what they have their cake and they eat it too.
I mean, honestly, like the more that I look into it, America might have been screwed from the get-go because it was poisoned with so much liberalism and this whole idea of rights and all this stuff. And like now people don't even, because it's just more of this post-enlightenment stuff where like people don't even understand that like they're talking about these relativistic terms on like what's good and bad and what I should be able to have, and like people have lost the plot
because we've lost absolute truth.
Mm-hmm.
It is not
no, we
rational.
haven't.
It's not rational.
We haven't lost it. A lot of people have lost it.
It's not rational
you
for
guys
somebody to say,
you talk about
I have balls, but I believe I'm a woman.
Right.
No. If you have balls, you're a man. That's
is
truth.
a segment of society that is truth is relative. But then there's the large part of yes, listen. Then there's the large part of society that recognizes these basic human truths, and we look at these other people that are living in their own truth societies, and we're having to put up with them because that's not really the reality of it. But they're doing their best to push their way in terms of you've got to accept us too. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to refer to anybody by their preferred pronouns, and I don't care if it offends them, really. But and it's not just that. There's a lot of things, but at the end of the day, those people that have their relative truths are not the majority of people.
No.
The majority of people lie in things that are factual. And I will say, if we ever lose sight of what's really true, the only thing we really need to look back to is mathematics. Mathematics never lies. So anything that you can apply into numbers, statistics, things like that, those are the basic truths right there.
But then it gets complicated when you ask some of these people, where does math come from? How do we have math?
Okay, let me ask you a question. Okay, Brian Brooker, I'll put it to the test. 1 + 1, what does that equal?
9.
1
See,
+ 1
I'm in the minority now because I'm one of those people that think, that
it's clearly 11. It's clearly 11.
But truth, you could have 1 + 1 = 3. I know of another time that 1 + 1 = 4. I mean, when you get back to the truth, a male and a female have a baby, that's 3. 1 + 1 = 3. That's truth.
Yeah, that's
it is.
I can't see how you take one apple and get 3 apples. So there are these basic. The thing I was trying to point out was the large majority of people see things in a basic truth that we've long held these truths to be, not just those, but not just that, but I mean abroad, and we know that one of those things is 1 + 1 = 2. And we know these truths, but then we have this small segment of society that's screaming very loudly because they want everybody to hear them. And these are their truths that 1 + 1 = 3. And the fact is that group of people are really, really small. And the majority of the people see things the way that it really is in this reality. And face is that we have reality. When you lock yourself out of your house, you have a decision to make. The reality is you're either going to break a window and get in, or you're going to sleep outside that night. That's the cold, hard reality of it.
True. But
I'm sorry. I
we're
was trying to be funny. That wasn't really funny. I know 1 plus
I
1
laughed.
equals 2.
You were funny. I might have to get skipping here soon, guys.
Well, I was actually going to say we're coming up on an hour and 20 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and shut this show down. So if you guys want to hop
I hope we did all right.
Yeah, no,
This
I
was
enjoyed
fun.
it. I think there was some good points that we touched on. I'm not sure how we're going to go in the future. We might start doing this more often.
Leave some comments and we'll check them out. We'll read those and kind of get some feedback from you and maybe what else.
Yeah, definitely let us know what you think. The link is always in the link tree for the Discord or the Telegram. You guys can jump into any of that. Let us know what you think. Talk with us. We're cool people. Sometimes I'm probably gonna annoy some people because I do have a tendency to do that. But it'll be fun, and I'm sure we can all laugh about things and share some crazy articles. But I'm going to go ahead and run this ad real quick one more time. That way people know where to find us.
I think we should. I'm just joking. I did that
That's
to you
it.
earlier.
I'm booting
I'm
you.
sorry.
You banned. Let's go ahead and run this ad real quick. So a couple of Hoosiers podcasts. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, CastBox, pretty much anywhere that you get your podcast. We do a live stream show over here on Rumble. Sometimes Saturday, sometimes Sunday. We're not professionals. But then we upload to YouTube and Odyssey and BitChute. And if you want to get a bunch more stuff, you can just head over to cohpodcast.substack.com. I write blogs about various topics that are pretty interesting. You might learn something if you go check it out. No promises, though. No promises. I lost my section there. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the show. I'm gonna go ahead and close this thing out, so you guys can go ahead and jump out of the Discord.
Y'all have a good one.
It's been good. It's been real.
Goodbye. Thank you for having us. I appreciate it.
Yep.
I don't know how to do it.
Here, I'll just boot you.
Yeah, boot me.
I'll just disconnect it. But yeah, that was the show. Yeah, this is normally how it looks when we do a regular episode. We usually have funny videos and stuff that we play. Trying something new because there's so many people out there that just sit there and talk about what's happening and present like articles and stuff like that. I kind of want to get this thing going where we're having people come on and talk about things. I know nobody really came on today, but yeah, down in the description section, you guys will find the Discord link. You'll find our link tree where you can check all the links on where you can follow us, where you can find us. But yeah, be sure to let us know in the comment section on what you think about this whole style. We might start doing more open panel discussions where people can just come in and we just, shoot the shit and just talk about whatever comes to our mind. But yeah, you guys are great. Yeah, have a good week and all that stuff, and we will see you guys again next weekend. Bye.